They didn't come searching for trouble. They retraced steps seeking answers. But the world offered both. Assignments by Stephen Meehan.
That was one of the best landings I've ever had,
Dirk said as he powered down the ship. He unbuckled and stretched his arms overhead.
After establishing base camp, what do you expect Jarvis's first course of action will be?
His co-pilot turned toward him, pulling her legs tightly into her chest.
We're a good hike from the remains of the previous ship. I'd say it's even odds that Jarvis's first order will be dispatching a team to explore the remnants or cataloging the local wildlife.
Let's find out.
Dirk activated the internal comm with a shrug.
Jarvis, as you can guess, we've touched down. However, that brings my expertise to a close. What's first on my new agenda?
How far away is the missing ship?
It's a bit of a stroll.
Diana replied as she worked at her console. When her fingers stilled, she leaned back as her mouth curled into a tight smile.
I've sent everything to your system. You can debate the distance shortly.
The silence broke with a curse from Jarvis.
In what special world is that considered a stroll? That's more of a day's march than a casual walk. Couldn't you have gotten us closer to it?
Diana stared through the windshield and studied the surrounding forest. The swaying limbs calmed as the landing winds died off. A flock of strange birds launched from the trees, darting off towards the horizon. As she watched the creatures disappear, her hands clapped as she leaned towards the clear barrier.
I selected this location because it was the only suitable site that would allow us to maintain the integrity of what we're searching for.
Dirk claims he could land anywhere.
He could have landed on top of the vessel and destroyed crucial evidence.
Diana sighed and collapsed into her chair. Her eyes darkened as she lifted a finger.
Which isn't our primary task.
Fine, help establish base camp instead of combing through the local wildlife.
On it, Jarvis.
Dirk replied, shutting off the comms. He rose and tugged her arm.
You heard the boss.
I heard his orders.
She replied, pointing at her display.
But something about those creatures appears strange.
We knew this rock wasn't like home.
Dirk opened the cockpit's door and jerked his thumb through the opening.
But you've been given orders.
Her hands flew across her console as she returned to the seat. Dirk jostled her shoulder.
We have to get moving.
Those weren't birds.
Diana jumped up and pressed her face to the windshield.
They were winged lizards.
The creatures sliced across the sky with practiced precision. Nothing about their flight suggested surprise, panic, or fear. Dirk ambled to her chair, his jaw tightening.
That's a terrifying concept. Are you telling me dragons exist on this already dangerous planet?
Diana spun and shouldered her way past Dirk as she fled the cockpit. Dirk's eyes fell to her console, studying Diana's scans of the creatures. A knock tore his attention away, and he jumped back, hands flying to his chest. Diana snickered and leaned against the doorframe.
A little jumpy, aren't we?
Do you enjoy scaring people like that?
With a wink, she left, and without looking back, she said,
Weren't you talking about following orders?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Dirk ambled towards the doorway, his stride lengthening with each step. As he stepped through, hands slammed into his chest.
Boo!
Dirk jumped, banging his skull against the doorframe. As his fingers rubbed his sore head, Dirk swatted Diana's arms away. He thrust his chin out and huffed.
Was that necessary?
Necessary, no.
Diana answered, batting her eyes.
But it was a lot of fun getting under your skin.
Shaking his head, Dirk watched as Diana scampered down the hallway. He punched the door and hurried after her. He slid down the ladder and grabbed his gear. As he zipped up his vest, a hand pinched his shoulder. Dirk's eyes squeezed shut as his face furrowed.
What's wrong, Diana?
It's good of you to join us,
Jarvis said. Dirk spun and glared at his co-pilot.
I'd have been here sooner if she wasn't trying to give me a heart attack.
Jarvis smiled, pulling Dirk closer.
Was she really trying to scare you?
Dirk slipped from Jarvis's grip, grabbed his pack, and slung it over his shoulder.
She took great pleasure in torturing me.
You'll be fine.
Jarvis calmly removed the pilot's weapon and returned it to his locker.
I went over the information she provided, and it's not as bad as I initially thought.
Dirk's eyes drifted to his sidearm.
I take it I'm not heading that way?
No.
Jarvis shook his head and clapped Dirk's shoulder.
I've already dispatched that team.
Then what's my agenda look like?
I want you to return to your cockpit and fire up the ship's sensors.
Diana appeared between them, shoving her face into Jarvis's.
Isn't that something I'm better suited to?
Jarvis pushed her back and smiled.
You'll go over the scans, but you, Diana, I need you to work with Marta to establish our base camp.
Is this an ideal location?
Thankfully, Dirk, it's a suitable spot. We're parked right up against a river that skirts the edge of the tree line that encircles the ship. Diana, check in with Marta for all the details that concern you.
Jarvis jerked his thumb at the lithe woman directing traffic near the lowering ramp. He spun around and pulled Dirk into an embrace and led him back to the ladder.
Meanwhile, Dirk and I will return to the cockpit and make the initial scans of the immediate area.
I'm sorry, Diana. Best of luck.
Dirk twisted his head and frowned. After Diana disappeared, Dirk huffed and pushed Jarvis off him.
Why are we cataloging all the wildlife within striking distance?
Jarvis grabbed a rung and shot a scowl at the pilot.
The march to the ship is just as terrible as it first appeared.
With that, our story concludes. I hope you've enjoyed today's reprieve from your daily grind. If you like the vibe, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Because every bit helps get this channel spread to those who require a momentary chance to unwind. I'll see you for the next tale, my friends. Thanks for reaching the end of the video. But why not keep the rhythm going? Pick one of the videos on screen and settle in for another moment of escape. And if you haven't yet, tap the bell to get notified when new tales drop.